Hello, everybody. It's Marianne Bailey with the Senior Podcast Book Edition. And today we are talking to Deborah Shouse. She is the author of An Old Woman Walks into a Bar. Deborah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Marianne.
Now, did you intend for the title of this book to sound like a joke?
Yes.
Okay, because I feel two priests walk into a bar.
Exactly. It's hard to think of a good title. And I think I love my title. And part of it is coming from a family where my father was a master joke teller.
Ah,
And so we were always hearing somebody walks into a bar, among other things.
I love it.
As I was writing this book, somehow those jokes came into my mind. And I thought there are no jokes with women walking into a bar. I even searched it out and didn't find anything. And so that ended up being the title to this. And there is a little hint of a joke towards the end of the book with this in it.
All right, so you're leaving us with the cliffhanger there.
I know you're on the edges of your seats.
Guess we're going to have to read it and find out, aren't we?
I hope so.
All right, so tell us what this book is about.
So this is my debut novel. And this is a book about Grace, who is 78 years old. She lives in a small town in Missouri. She is a person of purpose. She is a former elementary school teacher. She is an independent person. She lost her husband, but still communicates with him. And she is in the middle of a crisis because she has been working hard on a community preschool that her church would be housing, leading that program because she so believes in early education. And suddenly, at the beginning of the book, her pastor and her friend tells her that his sister-in-law is coming in to head Grace's part of the project. And his sister-in-law, Nora Faye, is a younger, glamorous person with a big philanthropic fundraising history. And Grace is back to being just a committee person. And so that's the conflict that starts the book and travels through it. But this is a book about celebrating older people and seeing them for who they are. It's a book about you don't know who a person is just by looking at them. And that unfolds in so many different ways through the book. And it's a book about deciding how you're going to be living your life. So it's got a lot of themes woven in there, but it's also, it's a fun book. It's not light, but it's lighthearted. And that was part of my goal. I had started writing this book 10 years ago. And when I started, Grace was older and she had a lot of physical ailments. And then I put it aside because other things came up. And when the pandemic happened, I thought, I'm going to finish my book. But I also thought, I don't want a gloomy book. I want to write about the excitement I feel as an older woman and with my friends about being this age. And so that is a part of the book.
So the book is a little bit based on real life experiences.
It's yes, it's a compilation of a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I had lived and worked in a small town for years, and I loved the people that I worked with there. There were so many things I liked. So that kind of appreciation for a small town life is in there. But also part of my life lesson has been learning to accept people as they are. And so that is, and I have a curiosity about people and about what the way people appear and then the way they can be when you get to know them. So
Right.
that's a deep part of the book.
I often find the people that I think I don't have anything in common with, that person seems stuck up or whatever the case may be, are often very misguided and they end up being like one of my closest friends. So, at
Exactly.
least for a season in time. Sometimes these things
Yes.
come and go. Okay. So if a person's reading your book and they put their book down and they only had one thought about your book, what are you hoping that this person would get from your book?
I am hoping this person would get a sense of excitement. I'm hoping they will relate to some of the characters and some of the situations the characters are in. I'm hoping they'll feel exhilarated and they'll want to know, what is she going to do next? So that's what I'm hoping. And what's been interesting is I've been speaking to book clubs, which was one of my goals in writing the book. I wanted to write a book that brought up lots of issues we're all facing in various ways and get to talk about it with people I didn't necessarily know. And so that has been happening. And Friday I was at a book club, and at the end of the club, a woman walked up to me and said, "I am Grace. I am going through what Grace is going through." And she said, "I have had something important to me taken away, like Grace had." And she said, "Reading this book helped me get used to that and figure out what to do about it." So that was very exciting to me to hear that.
That would be really exciting. You just never know where people are going to find inspiration from. And I'm sure that gave you like inspiration. Are you inspired to write An Old Woman Walks Into a Bar Part Two?
I'm working randomly on what I'm writing next. But yes, I love these characters. One of my characters, Sheila, who is in her late 30s and appears to be a rather ditzy sort of person. And when I was working on the draft of the book with my critiquing partners, they said, "I don't think we like Sheila." And I said, "Well, just wait, because I think you're going to like Sheila." And they did. Sheila is a very likable person, but she presents in a way that you wouldn't want to rush over to her and make friends.
That's fair. I can't wait to see where that goes.
Yeah.
Deborah, thank you so much for telling us about An Old Woman Walks Into a Bar. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.